Hello, this is the Let's Actuate podcast. We are Team XI, and today it's me, Nicole, and Carolina.
Today, Thursday, May 16th of 2020. Here we are, Team XI, and we're going to be talking about all the things that we're going through in building XI and how it's affecting us and how we feel on this um, journey, the ups and downs and everything that we go through. So,
Sure, we just had a long conversation before this on a big theme that is coming up is like for me wanting to attach to something that feels like as much effort I'm maybe putting into it is coming back to me, as well as trying to set up these processes within the back end to make us a streamlined process so that we could just flow into other things. It seems like there's just like a lot of external going on, but then bringing that back into us to help get into a flow with that has been a little bit of a challenge. And I really want to nourish that part of what we're building right now. That's what I'm called to do.
yeah, and like we were talking about it before the podcast, right? I think it's important to identify what out of everything that we're doing as we're building these, what are those tasks in particular that are making us feel that we are making progress, making us feel like giving us that sense of moving forward, that we're moving the needle and we are making an impact on the things that we're doing. And maybe being honest with ourselves as well with the things that we are not so good at and we don't necessarily excel at, to see how we can repurpose it and how we can focus on those things that we know for sure are going to have a bigger impact on the things that we do. And I think it's cool that we are able to identify that and tag team it. And there's no, I think we are in a position where we have each other's back, and whatever it is that we have to do to set up the team for success, we'll do it. So it's cool to see you wanting to take ownership of different things that not were not necessarily the core of the things that you were focusing on at the very beginning. So it's cool to see that. Do you want to share a little bit about what you're going to be focusing on?
Yeah, I really feel in my bones, feel feel in my heart that putting more energy into social media is going to come back to us like 100x. It feels as though these platforms are tools and they have an algorithm. Learning that algorithm helps outreach to people that like goes further than, it. I wouldn't say, I mean, it does go further, but it's just a different way of bringing presence to what you're doing. More people are going to see it when you put effort into that. And it just creates a ripple effect. And I've seen so many people on social media do it. You know, there's so many people that I've seen them start out with, 1,000 followers and build up things. I guess it just seems unattainable for me to be able to do it. And I really want to challenge that within myself and get better at it, because this is a skill that's very valuable and does a lot, changes people's lives overnight. And I really want to tap into that energy. How do you feel about it?
I think it's cool. I feel a little bit intimidated, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's definitely a challenge for me in particular to start posting more consistently on LinkedIn and like grow and develop more of that public persona while we are building XI at the same time. And it's true, like people want to be able to relate to people and not necessarily to things or what you are selling. So giving that extra level of personality to what we're doing is going to be beneficial, definitely, as a whole, for the whole ecosystem. So now I have to be on the daunting for me task to start posting consistently, and I might start with just one post a week and that's it. It might not even be my own post. I might repost stuff. But I think it's a step in the right direction at the end of the day. So I'm just gonna start being more consistent with it. Like you're right. Like a lot of people out there, they start growing their followers, and it's just a matter of like not portraying yourself like something you're not. It's just a matter of sharing what you're going through and what your expertise is and what you're good at, and like just sharing that with the world so they can see it and people can benefit from it, and maybe it'll be more personable for people to be able to relate as well. Also having the podcast as well helps a lot with the creation and repurposing of content as well. So it's good. And we'll see this an executive decision that we on this side of Excite we made. Like we just have to let the other founders know. Surprise. So it seems challenging, but at the same time I like it. I'm always up for a challenge, and it's good to be able to identify what you are good at in particular and just use your energy, focus, and time and effort on it, because I know that that's what you're going to excel at. And also it's easy to perceive when when I personally, for example, I don't feel like there's out of all the tasks that I have to do, there's some certain things that I feel like it's not my forte, or I'm not necessarily the best suited for it. But we are at the stage that I have to wear multiple hats, so I have to do what it takes. But in a way that's perceived, right? If you're not fully convinced about something that you're doing, that reflects on your actions, that reflects on how you are being perceived, or the effort and energy that you're putting into it. So now it's just a matter of like, it is what it is. I don't care if I'm not necessarily on the ideal mental state. I don't think I'll ever be on the ideal mental state for something that I don't really think is my forte. But at the end of the day, it's you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, are you really committed to it, or you're just gonna keep up making excuses? And if you keep just waiting for all the perfect conditions to happen, then you might just as well just keep waiting, because there's always something gonna come up. And regardless of what's going on, you just gotta keep pushing. That's it. So that's it for me. Just gotta keep pushing.
Well, since I am stepping into this and, stepping into this role, how can I best support you in being successful?
I would say, like, maybe a daily reminder. Hey, have you post? Because like sometimes I have things that are lined up for me to post, and then I just get in my head, or I'm like, no, this is not good enough, or this gonna be really beneficial? Am I really bringing something of use for the audience? Am I really producing something that is gonna be perfect? And there's no way that I'm gonna produce something perfect. It's just not gonna happen. But I think I just need to get out of my head and make it a point to like putting it out there. The more you do it, the more you'll perfect it, and eventually it will just come like second nature to me. But I think it's just like tapping me in the shoulder and telling me, "Hey, stop getting in your head." So whatever you feel like it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it out. Start somewhere. So
So you mentioned daily reminders being something that would help. Is there anything else that could help?
maybe it could help as well if you see something of interest that could be I can use as a reference for posts, or when I find stuff that is like good content, I just repost it with my own thoughts as well. So I think that's a step in the right direction as well.
So you
And
mean
what
like
about
it?
you?
So you mean like something like an interesting article? You mean like a post someone else did
Yep.
that is like inspiration?
Yep.
Andrew's good at doing that on in our chats,
Yeah. But I feel
sharing it with the
like,
team.
yeah, yeah. But sometimes I'm like, okay, this is too much information.
Mm-hmm.
I get overwhelmed, but like that's me. I get overwhelmed about stuff. Like if someone bombards me on any, like it's either through messages or text messages or emails or like, and it's just back to back in a short period of time, and a lot of them, I just tend to get overwhelmed and I shut down and I'm like, okay, I can't. This is too much right now for my process, for my brain to process. So
Mm-hmm.
I always tell him one thing at a time. Don't send me 100 because that's a little bit too much. So we try to work on the volume of stuff that are shared.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I'm wondering how we could make that process not feel overwhelming.
I would say like maybe even finding out something that is really of substance that you really resonate with, and then share that, and that probably can provide more insight than 100 things all along. And for you, what would you say that can set you up for success?
For me, as a person, I need structure and like scheduling. As like you were talking on things that would help you, I started writing them down because that starts to create a plan for me on what works as us for us as a team and how I can best support people for us to get to this same end goal. So putting that structure in place is really going to help me. Having just I feel like that's the number one thing that's going to help me, and then just starting to like shift my brain when I go on to social media to what to take inspiration for how I want to show up and how I can help all of us show up on these platforms and for us as a company. So,
What
what were you going to say?
what's your goal overall with this initiative?
My goal is that it brings people to want to come to us and engage with us and to start building a community and launching different initiatives so that people want to be a part of what we're doing and be a part of, well, not necessarily of what we're doing, but that we're giving them value that's helping them and they want to be there and like just be there. Like, I feel how powerful community is and like the initiatives that come around it and setting up these structures so that people are engaged. Like, and that's what I want to set up for us as well, because I just feel the success brewing out of it and how it continues to be fruitful to always just be involved. That's
Yeah,
my
I
main
mean,
goal.
yeah, even if like we look at like a couple people that we were talking about on social, on LinkedIn specifically, how them constantly providing information that is of value, and them being perceived as a person, like a source of all of this information, it's like gives you like that kind of status per se. So it's beneficial to grow and engage more your audience. The more engaged they are, the more it's going to reflect on the how they perceive your brand and all of that. So it's good.
I want to make social media not intimidating for us anymore. I want it to just feel
I
comfortable. And I want it to be like I'm gravitating towards things that are genuinely challenging me because I want to grow in those areas. And also, there's a little bit of the instant gratification coming with social media, but like, I just need that right now, okay?
I love
I,
it. I
I
just
need
need that
some,
right now. Just give it
yeah,
to me. Give it to
yeah.
me.
I just need some positive reinforcement, a little bit.
Oh gosh. Yeah, and like you said, it's easy to measure as well, and you'll be able to see and tweak what's out there, what's working, what's not, and you can just iterate from it. So it's good. It's like the the validation that you say you're looking for, in a way, right? You're muted.
Yeah, I know, I know. I just yawned and want to give a big yawn. My body releasing, expressing onto the internet that I need external validation. And I'm trying and also checking in with myself constantly to not get caught up in it and not think that that is my only value and like have me be like affected by it, um
Hmm.
not trying to chase anything, just like see some steady and consistent growth and like get actual human beings involved and engaged and wanting to see what we're doing. Like that sounds awesome. I just want to make our community big. I want a chosen family. I want a people that are just on the same wavelength around me, and also people that challenge me, and I learn new things from. And I just want to be like, hey, there's cool people out there. I don't have to keep myself small.
I think that it's just a matter of like that just comes with it, right? Like when you are genuine about what you're putting out there, when you are not in for what you're getting out of it as a benefit for yourself, but you're actually into giving more than actually receiving. It's it's interesting to see how it just flows, and it's just like this exponential explosion out of nowhere, and it's not necessarily a lot of the people that make it like really big. They weren't in it for like becoming big or anything. They're just in it because they really enjoy what they're doing. They really enjoy the topic or the information that they're providing to the community. So I think at the end of the day, it's enjoying the journey as well. It's first of all doing something that you like. Don't post anything that you don't like or resonate with. It's just about being you. And I'm sure that a lot of people rather see something like that than portraying yourself like something you're not, because it's easy to see when you're trying to be something you're not.
I think it all just comes down to that it's the false fallacy that we can control what other people think about us. Because social media feels like to, we have the control of how people perceive us and not getting lost into that because you want to control that people only see you in this one way.
Also, there's this side of things too as well, that it's like you put a video or whatever it is that you want to put out there, and you want it to be this thing, but then people sometimes they just take it out of context. and they
Yeah.
create their own thing out of what you did, and it's like, okay, that's not what I intended, but okay. I think a couple people that are like uh, they create content, and they do it with a purpose, but then like just people just take it out of context, and it's like, what about these and these and these and that, and it's like it's good to see like some people are like trying to justify themselves along the way. I mean, like why I did that, or there's other people that are like, that's not why I did it. I did it for myself, or this is what I believe. But if you disagree with it and you have your own opinion, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah. Not getting lost in it and changing yourself is like the thing that it's you have to be a strong person to have hundreds of people's eyes on you all the time. It's not normal.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. And you have to really have
Mm.
thick skin.
Yeah, and you have to be able to compartmentalize things. Like this isn't real in the same. It's
Yeah,
real, but it's not actual real life.
it's real, but
Um,
it's also not part of your daily life. You should ever let a stranger's opinion weigh
mhm.
over you so much that they take away from, like, let's say, the time you spend with your family or your loved ones or your friends or whoever you
Yeah,
you choose to that you enjoy life with, right? So it's there has to be a balance, because it's easy to say, but once you're in the situation there, I can only imagine it's difficult to deal with, like you said, having 100 eyes on you all the time, what you're doing, what you're posting, what you're saying.
yeah,
So it's a lot. I think it makes it easier if you are just have your own convictions and your own beliefs, and you just stay true to yourself, because at the end of the day is whatever they want to say or perceive or take away from what you're doing. If you just stay true to what you're doing, what you're saying, and who you are, that's gonna come across, even if people try to dissect it and put it in different ways.
yeah.
It's just who you are.
It's funny how we always get here. I feel like when we have talked about social media, we get to this point where we're talking about like getting big and stuff. And I wonder if that makes it feel more intimidating to even start because of all the things that we find that is like negative with social media and the things that like you constantly have to be like, hey, it's just social media. Like, and I'm wondering if it feels like it gets this is the place that it feels like, and that's why we don't start it, if that makes
I mean,
sense.
yes, I mean, for me it contributes to it, because making it I have been for the past couple months making it a point not to post anything, because I don't feel like sharing. And that's uh my
That's
own
okay.
decision.
I'm not here to
um
force anyone to do anything.
yeah, exactly.
I'm just here to
But I think,
encourage and help.
but it's different than, like, we say social media, but we're talking about developing our personas on LinkedIn, and I think that's different, because you're talking about your business. You're focusing on what you're doing at a business level. It's not like, oh, I went out here, or I did this, or I ate this, and or I'm wearing this. It's a different level. So I think it's good, because at the end of the day we're talking about something that we're doing and we're fully involved with, and we are in it no matter what. So might as well share along the way while we're finding how we're resonating, what is it out there that we can, if we can help one person to make their journey easier just because of something that we posted, I think that would be the best gratification for me.
I agree. I do agree. I don't care if we have 100 million followers. What I care about is that we have a small community of people that like to hear from us and want to talk to us. And yeah, or challenge us to think differently
Yeah, I mean, we're
with
constantly learning,
constructive criticism.
not destructive.
Yeah. Yeah. If the intent is to help, I'm here for that too. And
Yeah,
help us pivot. I'm here for that. I just want to be open. And what feels like for me, this also feels like nice in a way, for as an exercise for myself to not, like I said it before, like keeping myself small. I should want to talk about my business and be proud of it. Talk about what
yeah,
I'm working on, that I'm doing it with cool people, and we're doing something that's really hard, and we're crushing it and giving it our all. And I want to just keep fueling that passion and fire for us to keep going.
yeah. At the end of the day, we have to be our own biggest cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. We just gotta keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think next week we're not gonna have a podcast, right? Because you're traveling.
I feel like I can do it. I just don't have my nice little microphone. Or should I bring it with me?
I think you should take the time, honestly, for yourself to enjoy yourself. Might as well. You're on vacation.
I'll see. I'll let you know. I'll let y'all know.
Yes, you'll let us
Well,
all
no,
know.
yeah, because I'll be gone for 2 weeks. So,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
then we have New York Tech Week.
Yeah, we do. Prepare yourself mentally and physically for all the
We
walking
should
and everything that
do.
is going to be
I
involved.
know we should, if we can. No, we should. We should do a live podcast
Oh wow, that's going to be challenging.
of the two of us together.
Yeah.
Why?
No, I think that'd be super cool. No, I mean challenging with like, because you and I every single time we jump on a podcast, like we talk for like 3 hours before, and then we're like, oh, we need to record.
Yeah, I know, but we're gonna be together anyway,
I know.
so might as
Yes.
well record it in person. This is gonna be the first time we're meeting in person too.
Yay! Well, I'm gonna bring the camera then. Maybe we can use it as our recording. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. That'd be nice.
Exciting things coming along.
Yeah, for sure. We'll let you guys know how everything's coming
Mm-hmm.
along. A lot to plan. I like that. I
Mm-hmm.
like that idea of having it live.
Scheming.
Nice. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, well, hope you have a great trip. Enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
Um, I'll be here if you need me, and then we'll just keep everyone posted if we're gonna be doing one next week. We're definitely gonna be doing one live in the upcoming weeks. So we'll see.
Hey.
Yay!
Have a good rest of your day or not. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.